From here,
What would happen if a legendary Aikido martial artist like Steven Seagal faced off in a real fight against a top-tier MMA fighter like Alex Pereira? Who would come out as the winner in such a clash? To find the answer, let's take a closer look at these two incredible figures one by one.
from here,
Let's start with Steven Seagal first. Seagal may be widely recognized as an action movie star who has appeared in numerous films. However, in reality, he is exceptionally talented in the martial art of Aikido. His expertise in this discipline is evident through his achievement of a 7th degree black belt in Aikido. Furthermore, thanks to his martial arts skills, Seagal once served as a martial arts instructor in Japan and is also known as the first American to ever teach at an Aikido dojo. On the other side, Alex Pereira is no less impressive. Although he only made his debut in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, commonly known as the UFC, in 2021, he has already achieved remarkable success. In fact, just 1 year later, he captured the UFC Middleweight Championship by defeating Israel Adesanya via technical knockout in the 5th round. Thanks to that victory, Pereira was awarded the Performance of the Night honor.
Good because he's...
His success in winning the UFC Middleweight Championship gave him the confidence to move up to an even higher level. In 2023, he decided to step into the light heavyweight division. Even though he was new to the weight class, Pereira fought like a true predator, defeating all his opponents without mercy. Just imagine, he managed to win the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship by defeating Gizi Prochaska.
He's so different than anything they teach you. Big shot.
Big right hand.
Another epic battle from Pereira can be seen during his quest for the UFC Middleweight Championship, where he faced off against Israel Adesanya.
Likely to do that tonight.
Oh, good kick to the body.
Big.
Oh, big knee. Oh, he hurt him. Shoot.
That connects to the body.
Oh. Oh. Woo.
Let's not forget Seagal, who possesses impressive Aikido skills. Back in his younger days, Seagal was able to defeat his opponents with remarkable ease.
Philosophy of positive versus negative energy. An aggressive act, such as an attack upon an innocent person, is negative force. Defense is positive. Aikido and other martial arts. Notice that the master is merely defending himself, turning aside his attackers while exerting very little counterforce of his own.
Even when he was far too old to fight, the truth is that his Aikido martial arts skills never faded away. Then, with each of their own abilities, what would happen if the two of them faced off in a real match? Unfortunately, there has never been a single moment where Seagal and Pereira have gone head-to-head. However, one thing is certain. In a fight scenario, Seagal would likely avoid engaging with Pereira's striking, opting instead to clinch and apply foot sweeps and wrist locks. Even so, Pereira would probably maintain his distance, attacking with his deadly low kicks and powerful left hook. And if Seagal insisted on closing the gap, Pereira could counter with a knee strike or execute a sprawl to avoid a takedown. Since Seagal and Pereira have never actually fought, perhaps an Aikido practitioner and an MMA fighter can show us what it would look like if two very different martial arts styles finally met in battle. In this matchup, the MMA fighter unleashed a series of kicks and punches, leaving the Aikido practitioner completely unable to respond. As the fight continued, the MMA fighter quickly closed the distance, grabbed hold of the Aikido practitioner, and slammed him onto the mat, forcing the Aikido fighter to signal for the match to stop.
Cool.
The next fight is considered quite legendary as an Aikido master faced off against an MMA fighter using only one hand. So the big question is, who would come out on top? In the first round, the Aikido master managed to take his opponent down perfectly, showing that he had a real chance to win despite his physical limitation. Even when the Aikido master was taken down by his opponent, he still held a significant advantage, thanks, of course, to his impressive experience and skill in the art of Aikido. Entering the second round, the Aikido master once again left the audience in awe. And for good reason, he successfully took his opponent down and quickly locked in a submission hold. After they got back on their feet, the Aikido master still managed to apply a lock with just one hand. This time, he even forced the MMA fighter to tap out under the pressure of his hold. Interestingly, this didn't happen just once. After they reset and continued the fight, the Aikido master once again brought his opponent down to the ground and locked him up with another impressive submission. Aikido practitioner Postma faces off against MMA fighter Abdullah Nalbant. Who will come out on top? At the start of the match, both fighters exchanged punches, signaling that they were evenly matched in terms of fighting skills for this contest. Throughout the fight, Postma frequently tried to take Nalbant to the ground, steering the battle into grappling territory. However, despite his efforts, it still wasn't enough to secure a decisive victory. Although there was a moment when Postma successfully locked in a submission that only needed a few more moves to force Nalbant to tap out. Unfortunately, time ran out at the end of the round. As they entered the second round, Nalbant attempted to turn things around by executing a submission move of his own, aiming to make Postma surrender. However, Postma managed to break free. Instead, that moment backfired on Nalbant as Postma quickly reversed the situation and positioned himself behind Nalbant. Seizing the opportunity, Postma skillfully applied a deadly submission hold, ultimately forcing Nalbant to tap out and securing his victory.